Why Steve Kerr's coaching style is perfect for Steph Curry and the Warriors. 4 NBA champion, 1 NBA Coach of the Year, 2 NBA All-Star head coach, led the Warriors to their first NBA championship since 1975, and also led them to 5 consecutive NBA Finals appearances. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the brains behind the Warriors' dominance in the NBA. Steve Kerr. It is no news that the Warriors have had many great coaches in the past. From George Senesky to Bob Lanier, and even the legend Attles, who, by the way, just recently passed away. God rest his soul. However, when it comes to the Golden State Warriors dynasty, 2 names stand out: Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. Over the past decade, this coach-player duo has rewritten the rules of modern basketball, creating a style that's as thrilling to watch as it is deadly on the court. But what exactly makes Steve Kerr's coaching style the perfect fit for Steph Curry and the Warriors? How did a coach with no prior coaching experience turn the Warriors into a dominant force? And how has his philosophy evolved to meet the unique demands of leading a team built around generational talents? In this video, we'll be diving into Steve Kerr's journey from his days as a player under legendary coaches to becoming one of the most innovative minds in the NBA today. We'll explore how his coaching philosophy perfectly complements Curry's skills and other talented players in the Warriors team. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so you'll be among the first to be notified when we drop interesting videos like this one. Now, let's get back to the video. To better understand Kerr's coaching style, we have to go back to the beginning. Before he became the coach we know today, Steve Kerr was a great player, a player who knew the importance of teamwork, discipline, and adaptability. However, his path to the NBA wasn't so smooth. He wasn't the tallest, nor was he the fastest, but he had always loved and understood the game on a much deeper level than most other players. And it was in those early years that Kerr began picking up lessons from some of the most iconic figures in basketball. Kerr played college basketball at the University of Arizona, where he quickly became known for his precision shooting and clutch mentality, a skill set that would eventually carve his role in the NBA. His professional career took off with the Chicago Bulls, where he had the rare chance to play under the legendary Phil Jackson. Jackson's approach was unlike any other. He was a master of the triangle offense, a system that prioritized ball movement and unselfish play. Under Jackson, Kerr witnessed how a team could thrive, not by focusing on individual talents, but by amplifying the collective power of the roster. After his time with the Bulls, he then joined the San Antonio Spurs, where he came under the mentorship of another coaching icon, Gregg Popovich. While Jackson was known for his innovative offense, Popovich was revered for his emphasis on culture, discipline, and a team-first mentality. Popovich's approach wasn't just about strategy. It was about building a cohesive team where each player felt valued, whether they were a superstar or a role player. In these experiences with Jackson and Popovich, Kerr was exposed to 2 of the most influential coaching philosophies in the NBA. He saw firsthand how Jackson used Zen principles to foster calm and focus, while Popovich prioritized adaptability and personal relationships with players. Little did he know that these experiences had begun to shape his own coaching philosophy. These weren't just lessons Kerr observed, they became values he lived by. As a role player, Kerr understood the importance of every single piece of a team working together. He knew that it took trust, accountability, and a shared vision to win at the highest level. And when Kerr eventually transitioned to the role of head coach, these principles would become the foundation of his coaching philosophy. However, after retiring as a player, Steve Kerr didn't jump straight into coaching. Instead, he took a detour, first as a broadcaster, where he offered sharp insights into the game, and then as an executive with the Phoenix Suns. While at the Suns, Kerr gained hands-on experience in decision-making at the organizational level. And although he left his role with the Suns after a few seasons, this experience gave him a unique understanding of the pressures faced by front offices, as well as the balance needed between the business side and the game itself. It's this 360-degree view of the NBA that would later make him an insightful and balanced coach. I like to think this detour has greatly helped him in his time as a coach, as it allowed him to observe the game from different perspectives, analyzing team dynamics, roster building, and strategies that worked or didn't work in the modern NBA. Finally, in 2014, Kerr was approached with an offer to coach the New York Knicks. This was a tempting offer, but then a second offer came, this time from a team with a promising young core and an exciting playing style, the Golden State Warriors. After carefully weighing his options, Kerr chose to coach the Warriors. And just like that, he was in a job role he didn't know he had been training for his whole life. When Kerr arrived, the Warriors were already a solid team with many talented players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. However, the system wasn't fully optimized for their skill sets. The pieces were there, yet the Warriors hadn't reached their peak. The puzzle needed putting together. Kerr believed he could change that by bringing in elements of what he'd learned from Jackson and Popovich. So, he got to work. In his first season as head coach, Kerr made bold adjustments. He implemented a system that emphasized ball movement, spacing, and relentless pace, taking advantage of Curry's shooting range and creativity on the court. This was a high-risk, high-reward style that many doubted would work. But for Kerr, it was exactly the kind of approach that would make the Warriors a nightmare for opponents. He also brought with him a culture of trust and respect. He encouraged players to make quick decisions, be creative, and play unselfishly. He wanted them to take ownership of the game, believing that a free-flowing offense would maximize their strengths. And guess what? It worked. With this innovative approach and player-centered mindset, Kerr quickly transformed the Warriors. He had created a team culture that was as strong as it was fun. The Warriors' locker room became a place where players felt empowered, where roles were respected, and where teamwork was prized over individual glory. And this culture, anchored by Kerr's leadership, was exactly what the Warriors needed to unlock their true potential. But what exactly is it about Steve Kerr's coaching style that's been so revolutionary? And why is it perfect for Steph and the Warriors in general? You see, at its core, Kerr's philosophy is all about trust, freedom, and movement. He believes in empowering his players, giving them the confidence to make decisions on the fly rather than micromanaging every play. And that's especially true for a player like Steph Curry, whose creativity and skill thrive in an open system. Another reason why Kerr's coaching style is perfect for Steph Curry and the Warriors is because it has made them reach their peak in modern basketball. He's built a culture where his players feel valued, where they're encouraged to take risks, and where mistakes aren't punished, but rather seen as learning opportunities. This environment allows stars like Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green to play with an unshakable sense of confidence, knowing that their coach trusts them fully. Having incorporated the triangle offense learned from his former coach Jackson, Kerr further adapted it to fit the Warriors' strengths. His own system is a blend of constant motion, passing, and spacing, designed to spread defenses thin and create open shots. For Curry, this means more opportunities to move off ball, tire out defenders, and find weaknesses in the opponent's game plan. Kerr's fast-paced, unselfish system plays perfectly to Curry's strengths. In Kerr's system, everyone has a role in making the offense gel, like Green, whose offensive playmaking is crucial to the team's success, and Klay Thompson's clutch moments that have saved the team on countless occasions. Ultimately, Curry's unique abilities became the weapon that could strike from anywhere on the court. While I agree that Steve Kerr met a team full of talents when he came on board, I refuse to accept the criticism that he's not great a coach just because he's had many talented players on his team. The truth is that great coaches need talented players to win, no matter how good they are. Red Auerbach had Russell, Pat Riley had Magic, Phil Jackson had MJ, and then Shaq and Kobe. Greg Popovich had Duncan and the Admiral. But I don't hear anyone saying these coaches were mid. Also, player management is an underrated skill that many people refuse to recognize. When the Warriors had Durant for 3 years and were virtually unbeatable, Kerr had to massage 15 egos of different sizes in the locker room. If we're being honest, that's not an easy job, as saying the wrong things can make or break the team spirit. In an interview with the California Sunday magazine, both Kerr and his former coach Jackson reflected on how important it is to manage players properly and how humor can be a useful tool for coaches in the locker rooms. Kerr then went on to recount how he had to carefully handle a situation with Draymond. He said that during one of the games, Draymond and Steph had a 2-on-1 chance. While Draymond had a chance to dunk and get a 2-pointer, he decided to pass to Steph to get a 3-pointer, but Steph missed the chance. Kerr said he was furious, but decided to use humor to make his displeasure known. The next day at practice, he showed the guys a video on playing blackjack. It was about splitting tens, and the audio said, "Never, ever split tens. Why would you ever give up a winning hand just to try to get 2 better ones?" The message from the video was so obvious. The guys loved it because they all like to play cards. They got a good laugh out of it, and Draymond laughed. Creative, right? Besides, it's easier to make controversial changes and drop some big names like Klay Thompson when you're friends with everyone on the team. And don't forget that when players have good relationships with their coaches off the court, they're likely to perform better on the court. Kerr seems to be doing a pretty good job in that department. For example, members of Kerr's coaching staff have previously pointed out how Kerr usually would not allow players to head to the golf course on a road trip. But now he encourages it in part because he knows just how much it means for his best players. In an interview, Kerr himself noted just how much doing what you love can increase productivity. Speaking, he said, "We've learned more. We understand more about human nature and human psychology and how important it is to do the things you love so that when you're going through the grind of other stuff, you have plenty of energy." He even promised Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala that he would get them on Augusta National if they captured the NBA Finals, knowing how much they both love golf. This promise became known after the Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. As Iguodala told reporters, "You know how everybody goes to Disneyland? We're going to Augusta." After defeating the Atlanta Hawks, Kerr arranged for Curry and Iguodala to tee up at Augusta. Maybe Kerr understands Steph so much because they both have a lot in common. Apart from the fact that they both love golf, they both love charitable endeavors and have been engaged in numerous events designed to further justice and equality. More importantly, the confidence Kerr showed on the floor as a player is the same he demonstrates in the huddle now as a coach, a resolve that Draymond Green says makes the Warriors feel invincible. There are times where we get a little rattled as a team, and he's just right there, a steady force like, "Hey man, just calm down, settle down," Green said in one of his interviews. His players respect him, and this is reflected in the games they play. Besides, the Warriors have had their fair share of adversities through injuries in different seasons, and yet have managed to keep the quality of their game while winning trophies. For example, in the 2019 to 2020 season, when Kevin Durant was gone, Klay Thompson missed the whole season and Steph missed most of the season. Kerr took that opportunity to develop other players, and over the past 3 seasons, we have seen Gary Payton Jr., Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Kevin Looney, and others improve significantly as players. When the Splash Brothers came back, Kerr had the complementary pieces in place, and they won the title. If that's not a great coach, I don't know what your definition of great coach is. However, it would be selfish to attribute the Warriors' successes in recent to Steve Kerr alone, as there have been other individuals in the background playing crucial roles. Like Attles, who was the team's head coach in 1970, and then took on the position of general manager for the Warriors from 1983 to 1986 after his retirement. Because of how instrumental he was to the team's success, he was employed permanently by the Warriors to serve in different roles, including team ambassador and community relations representative, and he served the team diligently up until his passing in August. Attles, together with other brilliant minds, have done a great job with the Warriors and have helped Steve Kerr achieve a lot, and in my opinion, this has helped Steve do his best coaching since joining the Warriors in 2014 and has also helped make his coaching style the perfect fit for Curry and the Warriors. I even think he deserves to be put on the list of the NBA's top 5 coaches of all time. What do you think? Do you think Steve Kerr's style is perfect for Curry and the Warriors? Or do you think he was just lucky to have talented players on his team? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.